Hello, this is Gerald Hurvanwas. Letters are used to orientate ourselves upon in ways that we are not very conscious about it, but we hear differences in words, if they are low, if they are more into the body of changes, or if they are more into the sounds of reflections, that we also have to reflect ourselves to orientate ourselves upon what we have and see, okay, but where is it going to? At the right time and place, we have to find something there. Some letters are focusing upon that. Care is the next word. I already had car, and I will make a difference. The difference, or the global orientation that you use in the background, is mostly very much stimulated by the vocals. The vocals, like is written down there. You have also written down there, but the pronunciations, especially in English, there's so many pronunciations, and they actually say with what it is dealing with, or how big it is dealing with a world of associations there. And I will make that difference between car and care in that way, that these vocals tell you about the range of what I'm focusing upon. That range of the full letter orientation can change the whole lot. In car, we had the A, where the A, I already explained, is actually that focus from a center point of vision, from what is really lying before us, without strong borders, but it is that focus that is most important before us, that we try to orientate ourselves into the middle. That's the A. And car, I already explained that we had the A range could be the whole range for the whole space as well, the physical space before us. The letter C there is also at the border, so here it will start within that full range of, let's say, what that I also used as car, where I go from my point of view 0 to A as the one middle point between us. There will be the A, but I will have to start from C. So the C is away from the center or at the borders. So my starting point of A is also after that range, or that border range. So I have to go to the borders first and then at the A. And that makes my A go up and have that center point of focus there. And then comes to your attention, then comes the attention that is very important also with the sounds. It is written as A, so it is about the center point of vision of attention, but actually we're not pronouncing it as A or A. No, we're pronouncing as R. And the R is a little bit between O and A. The R already says, okay, there is more adaptation to it. There's more than the space around space itself from the object itself. The R, the O, which comes to it, is actually going away from our center point of view, our center point of view of objects and objectivities and physical realities, and its own center of it goes wider. So it goes to the environment, and it also says, no, I'm dealing with something into the environment. I'm focusing more upon the environment. So between you and me, there is an environment where we have an interaction, and I'm going to focus my center point of viewpoint into a projection a little bit outside myself, outside my own center point of vision. I'm going to have a little bit wider range. I focus towards the environment, to the outside world as well. So the O is that space around oneself, where it will also meet, of course, the other, where the others will be met, and it will also be within that range of C. And it will also within that range of where I can meet the other. It's this environmental interconnection point already of O. It's focusing upon what is not just from me, also not just from you, but that in between zone. I'm going to go towards that zone which is our environment. And there I will make a starting point consciously, not from my basics, but from the reality that I have there, into the zone of awe, not but awe, so between you and me. And there I will make that connection point of R. R is the connecting, R means connect from one frame to another frame. This frame means it's an association with a time and space contextual applied moment, actually, where something appears, and it will go also to somewhere else at the right time and space. I will go to another time and space. So from one time and space to another time and space, I make a connection. I make a connection in time, I make a connection in space, and I go to that space. I go to that time. And that is done via this system that I have here, from C to A to R. So it will be different, of course, with care. So what is going on there? So also there I will start from C. But the care is also not pronounced as O, but more as E. In the Dutch we write it down as E and I. And there you have already the three different areas of focus. The A focus is that one which I choose here before me, that first circle, that's the A. The E or the E is that range from you, from me to you, from now to the future, from everything in timing and so on. The E is the insertion of new ideas, of these applications from the last category, the 1, 2, 3, that where I say, oh no, I have a formula. It's somewhere in between 1 and 2 and 3, somewhere in between this zone. I will find my application and I will know where I have to be via E. These are already three different orientations, and with E, I'm going to combine them already because it's a mixture. The frequencies are higher than, for instance, with oo is very low, where something is really developing and is going to develop. A is when something is continuous and which is always there. A, when something is forming itself after a while, you have to need some time and you hear this time. A is doing both. It's allowing something new to find out over a certain time. So that's more or less a certain range of associations of a field of orientation, the field of focus. But I have this, the C with the A is the same thing written down. So I have I found the place in which I have a starting point. Although I have different starting points in C, I'm not very sure where to start from, but I start from the one that I think, okay, this is available, this is available at this moment, this is available at that point where I can use it. But I have the E to it as well, so I have also that direction in time, not just in space, and I will certainly move also. So in this case, A is it shows a direction, and it is the beginning of what you can make in a contextual direction. But thanks to the C at these borders, you can do that. But in A, you really do that. You make it happen also, that you have involved also the movement itself. In car, it's not necessary. The car is there also when it's standing still. It has this potential of connecting itself to these times and space, but it doesn't have to do that because C is still into the physical realm, and the physical realm is at the borders. It just says it has a potential to connect itself to time and space, but it doesn't need to do so. It's still a car without moving. Care has the sound E. It has the sound E and I combined. It has that, not just that potential of movement, it's doing that movement. It can only be itself by having that movement involved. So the E is that movement towards the other. so all the timing, where the goal is the other or the other thing or what is different. So it is going towards that thing. That is already a huge difference with car and care. With car, it's just that potential of associations in time and space. Now here it's going towards that time and space element where it's going to find some change there as well. And he is as well will say, okay, I have also an input here. I will put some input there so that I can find the right outcome at the other where I need that change and so on. So the A in the end is even more emphasized by the written down word with an E in the end. It really says no, what is needed, the essence of what is in the end. What you have in the end is not the letter R, which is about connections, making connections in time and space. Care with the E as a last thing says no, it is about making that connection with R before that, whatever rhythm that you find there. I'm not going to put the R there because R is like finding the rhythm to do that. It can have a lot of forms there, so there are too many options there, so I leave that out. It's clear enough how it is, but because the E is there in the end, it's going. The essence is, it's going there to where I need that change. To that whole perspective is not choosing a starting point to do so. It is doing this as well, and it's doing this in this time scheduled focus completely. That's why the E is there as a last letter, and both of these things, the E as a last letter, even if you don't hear them, and the differences in sound orientation makes it so that the end result of the combination of letters comes to actually something something completely different, even though some of the orientations are structured within the same orientations. The outcome leads to something actually something completely different, and it should be clear already enough why this is so. And it's all about orientations with letters and association that we make with them actually quite spontaneously. Okay, thanks again for watching. Bye.